Hi, my name's Jo. I'm one of the directors of Posture People. We've now been doing DSE assessments for over 15 years. And one of the things that we realised while we were doing our DSE assessments is there was a little bit of a gap as to how people were doing self-assessments and how they could store them. One of the things we wanted to try and do was create a really easy way to do an online DSE self-assessment so that companies could store them easily, refer back to them, and have really sensible conversation with their employees about how small tweaks can make a big impact on changing the way people work. A little bit of an intro about Posture People is we've been supplying assessments for 15 years, but we also supply the products to be able to help resolve those issues as well. And we can do anything from an ergonomic mouse up to a complete office refit. So this is our new online DSE self-assessment. Now, one of the things we realised is we wanted to create something that could be very easily stored within people's HR systems. We use Breathe HR internally, and I absolutely love it for its simplicity, its ease of use, and how much time it's saved me as a director. And we wanted to create something that would actually work within the Breathe HR system. So once you log on to our new online DSE self-assessment, you send a link through to your employee to complete the assessment. When they complete the assessment, then you'll receive an email with actually a workstation PDF that's come through that they've completed. So if you open that up, I'd recommend opening it up to about 100% so you can see it easily. What you can do is then go all the way through it, reading through it, and what you're looking for particularly, you need to pay particular attention to, is these areas which are highlighted in red, which say further action may be required for the previous question. So what that's telling you is your employee's got a bit of an issue with the keyboard. So keep going. There's got no tilt to it, and also they're finding it difficult to find a comfortable keying position. So we carry on down. These section all looks fine, but they're having a bit of a problem with the text size as well. Okay, we keep going down. And there is an issue here with the chair as well, which is then highlighted through the next couple of questions. Then we read all the way through. And then what we can do is actually here at the bottom is an opportunity for the employee to give you any notes. So this one's telling us that the chair sinks throughout the day and they need to keep adjusting it to keep the height up. Right, so what I'm going to do is I want to store that onto we're going to minimize that, and we want to be able to store that onto Breathe HR so that we can see that this person's completed a DSE, but also that we need to have a conversation with them. So what I'm going to do is just drag and drop that onto my desktop. I'm going to go onto my Breathe HR system. I've already logged into it. And we use the training section to be able to log the DSE assessments. So I go on here, I create a new training request. And I'm going to put on here DSE Assessment. It's internal training. We're going to pop it down under the health and safety because it's a health and safety. It's been completed. Jane's done the test today. It's not really a full day or a half day, so I just leave it on as a full day. And expires on. Now, DSE assessments are interesting. There is no time frame for when you're actually meant to redo it. You really need to do a DSE assessment when somebody new starts with a company or when something changes within that company. The employee becomes pregnant, there's an office move, some of the software changes. If none of that happens, what we tend to recommend is that a DSE assessment is done every couple of years, just so that you are giving the employee the chance to be able to comment on their workstation and highlight any issues that have arisen for you. So we're going to highlight this on by 2 years. So we're going to say it expires on the 11th of the 2nd, 2022. And I'm going to actually get them to remind me on email, say a week beforehand, just so that we can actually gather it up. If nothing's changed, nothing's been done, so that we can actually just make sure that we're checking again in a couple of years. It was in-house training. We can put down the cost of it. So let's look for Great British Pounds. Where's my G's? That's always the difficult one to find here. Yeah. There we go. Right, cost. Now, our assessment costs 99p, which is a bargain. So we'll fill it out there. There's not really a pass or fail, so I tend to leave that blank. What I'm going to use here is the opportunity to put down the areas which actually I need to talk to the person about. So it's the keyboard, text size, would help if I could type correctly, and the chair. And we've got an issue with it syncing throughout the day. This will just give me some quick brief notes, so I don't need to open up the whole assessment again. I'm going to add the training here, so that's in, but also you've got the opportunity to attach the documents. So what I'm going to do is just attach a document. I'm going to put Jane DSE Assessment. I'm going to drag that back in, so it's on. We're going to make it visible to the employee. Don't need to read it again, but what we can do is have it so that it is visible for the in-person. And then we're going to add the document. Okay, now we could leave it there completely. You've got the thing, you've got it registered. You need to go off and have a separate conversation with Jane. But one of the things I quite like is you can actually organise the chat through Breathe HR as well. So if you click to the performance section, we can put down a one-to-one. We can schedule a time in. So I know Jane's next in the office on Monday. We can schedule a time for them. Now it's just going to be an informal one. We can put down myself. It's not going to be recurring. And then what we can do is like to have a quick chat about DSE results. And then what we can do is add the one-to-one, and it'll send a request off to Jane to have a meeting on that day. And then we can use that as an opportunity to discuss the results of the DSE and come up, and then we can actually make a note of any of the actions that we performed underneath the one-to-one as well. So you've got a complete record of how you've handled the DSE and how you've resolved the issues as well. Now, I hope you found that helpful. If you've got any questions that you'd like to ask us, what you can do is actually give us a call on 0330 332 0880, or drop us an email on inquiries@posturepeople.co.uk. Our website's got the full details of the online self-assessment, so go along, give it a try. It's only 99p, so you've got an opportunity to just give it a quick whirl. All right then, thank you very much.